Coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First carry for James Conner. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
At the 46-yard line. Boom! Big hits all day.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go. Send Lobo.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Open man, Erickson. That's complete. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
Hey, Alpha. Look at me. Zipper. Back to you.
Now back to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now it's Haskins. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
On the NFL scoreboard, update from Loss of Game goes along here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. This one grabbed by A.J. Green.
On 2nd down, complete to A.J. Green. A pickup of 13 yards. It's not.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll drop the throw. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Johnson, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 7, Haskins eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
A field flipper there, a 47-yard punt coupled with a loss on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey.
Set the tone, defense, let's go.
36. Shoot.
They'll look to throw here. He completes it to Tate. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Here's Switzer. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 1st and 10 is Counter. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And now this throw complete to Washington. They give him a gain of 37. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a 2nd one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
They'll run here with Connor. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the 1st battle. Keep coming after him. Put the pressure on him.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Can see this quite a bit on running plays where the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
Hey, orbit. Hustle, hustle. Get ready.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Able to shake him off, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
It's now third down.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. Switzer on the return. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 41-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times?
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down. They'll look to throw here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive game. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Terrell Edmunds comes flying in from safety for the sack. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. An NFL update. Second quarter now in Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. Johnson was the intended receiver. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Finding Green complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch, maybe you move some motion, maybe you put him on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open.
50, plant. Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Smooth.
2nd and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Cameron Hayward make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They're going to look to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And the throw there going to be incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut him down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Flush to his right. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys, that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. A gain there of 21 yards.
He gets his first catch there, but all in all, when you're talking about the #1 receiver in the NFL coming into this game, and we're just talking about the first catch there, I think they're doing a nice job of bottling him up.
Now the man from nearby Columbus, Ohio, Benny Snell. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. They're going to run again with Snell. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 50. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Bullet good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Looking to throw, Haskins. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. The Steelers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with counter. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a carry for Bernard. Big hold of the 30, and he'll take this all the way up to the 38-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Team spell.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Got it.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got his man. This is Tate. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
I know you felt that one.
Let's go. 60 or.
You got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Airing one out for Boyd. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Haskins. Flushed out right. He finds his man Johnson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 6. He completes it to Boyd. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. Back to throw here. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98 to Mike. That's right, man.
2nd and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Looking to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Hayward in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, but now it's 3rd and goal.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. The clock showing 19 seconds to go. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Connor. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3